Radhe Radhe. Living scriptures are living scriptures. One student asked a question. So how can we develop our faith in Krishna consciousness? Maharaj says, how have you come to conceive of Krishna consciousness? Student, by reading Bhagavad Gita. Maharaj says, slow down. Bhagavad Gita from the scriptures, and the scriptures are written by whom? Some saint. So the association of saints and the advice of scriptures are both necessary. The saint is the living scripture, and the scripture advises us in a passive way. A saint can actively approach us, and passively we may receive benefit from the scriptures. The association of the scriptures and the saints can help us achieve the ultimate realization. Sadhu Shastra Kripaya Hoy. The saints are more powerful. Those who are living in the life of the spiritual advice as scripture personified. In their association and by their grace, we can imbibe such higher subtle knowledge and faith. So these scriptures cannot give directly. It is passive. But the saints who are the living scriptures through a real sadhu, Vaishnava, their grace can imbibe such higher subtle knowledge and faith. So all our experiences are futile in the attempt to attain the ultimate destination. Only faith can lead us there. The spiritual world is far beyond the restriction of our limited visual, oral, and mental experience. The experience of the eye, ear, and mind is very meager and limited. But faith can rise up and pierce through this area and enter the transcendental realm. Chaitanya. So faith should be developed with the help of scriptures and saints. They will help us understand that the spirit world is real and this world is unreal. If we have understood or realized this, then our spiritual life starts. Otherwise, if you see this material world is reality or real, then we can never understand the spiritual plane. Hare Krishna. How was it in Vrindavan? This is your experience. Radhe, Radhe. At that time, this material world will be night to us when we realize the transcendental plane. And that will be day. And that will be day. So material world is like night, dark, ignorant. And the transcendental plane will be like day, sun, full of knowledge. Presently, the eternal world is darkness to us. And we are awake in this mortal world. What is night to one is day to another. A saint is awakened in some matter, and the dacoit is working in another plane. They are living in two separate worlds. A scientist is living in one world, a rowdy is living in another. One's day is night to another. The ordinary persons cannot see what Einstein and Newton has seen. And what the ordinary man sees is ignored by a great man. So we have to awaken our interest in that plane and ignore the interests of this plane. This is a topic. World War III. Let it be. He's saying, a student asked, many people are worried about nuclear war. They think it may come very soon. This was about 30, 40 years ago he spoke this. It's not changed. We are more close to this now than that at this time. Maharaj said that is a point on a line on a plane in a solid. So many times wars are coming and going. So many times the sun, the earth, and the solar system disappear and again spring up. We are in the midst of such thought in eternity. Means as long as we are in this material world, it will never change. It will never, a time will never come where everything is perfect. It is a circle, always again and again. There is destruction, again they are building up, and again they will destroy it. Because this is our nature in this material world. We are greedy, we are envious, we want more and more, we want to exploit. And this leads to the destruction of everything, of us, of this material world. This is the place where we can do and act like this. But it goes in a circle. So many times wars are coming and going. So many times the sun, the earth, and the solar system disappear and again spring up. So we are in the midst of such thought in eternity. As long as we're in the material world, it is eternal for us also. It is Nityapada. Eternally we are going on in this world. Birth and death. According to our... So if not the information, if not the Lord coming giving his mercy, or the sadhus coming on his advice. This will go on eternally. And then we may one day enter the transcendental, we will understand this is not the real Lord, this is Nitya Pada. We will enter the plane of the Nitya Siddhas. This is, they are eternally living in our original plane, where we are coming from. This nuclear war is a tiny point. What of that? Individuals are dying at every moment. The earth will die. The whole human section will disappear. Let it be. Now, materialists will say, what is this? What they are saying. But this is the reality. Dying millions and millions of animals every day, every second. It is you cannot avoid it. But we are trying now the climate change, we think this is our under control. We can control this. This is foolishness, ignorance. What they're doing, they're destroying. They're destroying they want to do something good, they think, they speculate. Not understanding, these things come automatically. We cannot. Why they not try to save or make the scientists, why they're not engaged in make our body live eternally? Why they cannot? But they think they can control the nature by my activities, you know. This is very ignorant, very foolish. And they are leaders of this society. And we are just like sheep falling in ignorance. The whole human section will disappear. Let it be. We must try to live in eternity, not any particular span of time or space. We must prepare ourselves for our eternal benefit, not for any temporary remedy. The sun, the moon, all the planets appear and vanish. They die. And then again they are created. Within such an eternity we have to live. Religion covers that aspect of our existence. We are told to view things from this standpoint, not only this body, but the human race, the animals, the trees, the entire earth, and even the sun will all vanish and again spring up. Creation, dissolution, creation, dissolution. It will continue forever in the domain of misconception. At the same time, which is eternal, we are requested to enter there, to make our home in that plane, which neither enters into the jaws of death, nor suffers any change. In Bhagavad Gita it is stated, Abhamana Bhuvanaloka Punavardhino Jana Mammubhetidekantiya Punajanmana Vidyati. Even Brahmaloka, the Creator himself, has to die. Up to Brahmaloka, the highest planet in material world. The whole material energy undergoes such changes. But if we can cross the area of misunderstanding and enter the area of proper understanding, then there is no creation or dissolution. That is eternal. And we are children of that soil. Our bodies and minds are children of this soil, which comes and goes, which is created and then dies. We have to get out of this world of that. Thank you. Watch your mind. Impossible what they're speaking is. It's like a dream. But they have no experience. They're living in deep darkness. They have not understood who we are, where we belong to. So we're in such an area. What is to be done? Try to get out. Try your best to get out of this mortal area. The saints inform us, come home, dear friend. Let us go home. Why are you suffering so much trouble unnecessarily in a foreign land? The spirit world is real. This material world is unreal. Springing and vanishing, coming and going. It is a farce. From the world of farce we must come to reality. Here in this material world there will be not only one war, but wars after wars, wars after wars. How did they know this? It happens all the time. There's some war, destruction, then again they build up the then working hard, build up again, then become very, because the goal is just to enjoy, then they become like mad people. And very sinful. Killing animals for their satisfaction of their belly, tongue. And they think it will not have any reaction. They think they are the masters. It is schizophrenia. You know, when a cat is beaten somewhere, you read even in the newspaper, or a dog, oh, he's beating and he should be locked in, and he becomes punished by the police. But that they are eating every day, millions every day, of all kinds of animals. Nobody thinks like this. They're killing every day. Why they not have? They call it then, as an excuse, they are biological. They can eat some grass, real grass. They can be a little, walk outside. Then you can kill them. I don't know, it's, from my vision, it is schizophrenia. Is it not? How this thinking of materialism, it is madness. We're living in a mad world. But there's a zone of nectar, and we are actually children of that nectar that does not die. Shanvatu Vishwan Amritasya Buddhaha. Somehow we are misguided here. But really we are children of that soul which is eternal, where there is no birth or death. with a wide and broad heart, we have to approach there. This is declared by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, and the Srimad Bhagavatam all confirm the same thing, that this is our very sweet, sweet home. We must try our best to go back to God, back to home, and take others with us. I ask, I know that will be no, but I ask so that in case someone wants to know more detail, there's some question or comments. Then Shastra is knowledge, jnana, but we have to go for vijnana, realized knowledge. And Shastra is giving description, saying we should surrender to God, we should, it is a teaching, but without a living Shastra, like he said, who has realized this, we cannot make the step to the transcendental, in the transcendental plane. Because it is very natural, logical. Dadvidi pranipatena pariprasnina seva yogvidikshanyati jnanina statvatashina. That you have to get this, the Shastras or this knowledge from a realized soul. Because realized means he has seen the truth. Or he may be a member of the transcendental world. He is not coming here as a conditioned soul. Like our Guru Brahmara is like this. They are not coming because of karma. They have their position in the transcendental world. They are just sent by Mahaprabhu. They can tell us, they have realized it. They can open the doors and let us peep into the transcendental, to the eternal world. Book cannot do this. Knowledge cannot. Knowledge can give us, jnana, karma, or mystic yoga, all this kind of yoga. They are just leading us to Brahman, maximum, to the neutral stage. That neutral stage is not is not the goal of a bhakta. Because neutral state means like sleeping without dreaming. And still there is the danger that we are falling down by coming in contact with the mental world, with the material, by desire. But somebody who is entering Vaikuntha and all the transcendental planes, he will lose all taste for anything in this dark world where we are moving and thinking this is Let us exploit this world to the last. They have noticed for these things. It is hell, but we think it is heaven here. It is so nice. What is, everybody works, everybody has done, but how much suffering you're going through in your lifetime. You cannot avoid. That is disease, old age, death, and birth. And again, how can you avoid this? What kind of leaders we have that they're not thinking in this way? Why they have no universal vision? We are temporary here. And then this before was nothing and after will be also nothing. Is there any, it is very ignorant to think like this. We have been eternal, we are eternal living beings. We are not temporary here. Now we have a body who is temporary. Our mind who is connected with the body on this material world, it is temporary. But it is not our real identity. So these things we have to understand theoretically, but when we are getting trained or we get under the guide of a sadhu, a real sadhu, we will get a realization, we will understand who I am really, that this world is actually it's just a short moment. We consider it a long time, 100 years maybe. But in reality, this is just a moment. Demigods, they're living for 10,000 years. Then they have to come back again, perform their pious activities, then again go to the heaven. Doesn't matter, this temporary. Everything in this material world, even Brahma, life is temporary. And when he leaves this, he can't be a devotee, then he goes back. If not, then again he may appear in this material world. And Brahma's life is, we have a calculator here. Billions and millions and millions of lifetimes we are living here. So this everything is just, we are very ignorant about this science. And when we get a glimpse of it, then by the mercy of the Lord and real sadhu, then we will understand and we will lose the taste for this plane where we are staying. We want to go out of this ignorance, out from the dream, waking up. Jeev jago, Gaudiya. How long you want to sleep on the lap of Maya? Jeev jago, wake up, in the name of Gauranga. How long you want to sleep in the lap of Maya, illusion? Life after life, we're going on like this, not understanding who we really are, where we belong to. question? Is it? And so this is a topic what is beyond our conception, what how we are thinking. It is not, you will not hear this kind of teachings so often. These teachings were taught by the 6 Goswamis and by those liberated souls. So we are not expect that everybody can understand it or can accept it. This is clear. But one thing may happen, that something stays in us. Something we will not forget, even if we take birth again. These things will stay in our subconsciousness. Already. Otherwise, we will not sit here. But not many. But we have already in our past lives, there must be some connection, must have been there. Should we start there's some scientific, one thing. Dr. Daniel Murphy, PhD, he had a conversation with Srila Goswami Maharaj. He wants to approach the spiritual knowledge with a sign, as a scientist. Scientists, those who think, who are very intelligent, they are actually much more hard to understand these things. Because they think we are much more intelligent than others, and nobody can tell us. But as Srila speaks, Darwin has given the theory of evolution, fossilism. Vedanta has given subjective evolution. In Darwin's theory of objective evolution, matter evolves consciousness. Means Darwin's philosophy was that life comes from matter. So it is absolutely unlogical. That from dead matter, life cannot come. It is the opposite. The object exists first, and by its development, life is coming. Consciousness is coming from stone. That is objective evolution. But an object is a relative term. Without the subject, an object cannot stand. So the subject is the primary substance. So by example, our object may be the deities. But without the seer of the deities would have no meaning, or is not real. So whatever is to be felt is only an idea in the subjective ocean. Subjective ocean means of the seer. And this seer doesn't mean I have to have a body. Mind is is the subtle, and intellect. They are the subtle, they create. It comes from the subtle to the gross, not from the gross to the subtle. So the subject consciousness is first. The object, the gross, proceeds from the subtle. When a particular potency is handled by Krishna, in his form as Mahavishnu, then the material energy begins to move and produce something. Mayadhyakshena prakriti svedesa characharam. The first product is a general ego. This manifest general ego. This thinking of I am. Then gradually so many plural individuals, egos, emanate from the general ego. From the original ego, so many individual egos emanate. The experience of this world develops from ego. When ego conducts the mode of ignorance, form is produced. When it conducts the mode of goodness, the sun and light are produced. When the false ego comes in connection with these three modes of nature, a trifurcation takes place, generating the objects of the senses. The material senses and the power of sense perception. So from the subtle to the gross is coming. And there are the three modes of material nature: Dhammaguna, Rajaguna, Sattaguna. So influenced by these gunas, so many forms manifest, depending on the individual ego. So that is Vedanta evolution. But the Darwin theory says that from the gross, the subtle is coming. At present, theory that stone produces consciousness. Darwin's objective evolution has swallowed us. Although we reject it, we hate it, still the ghost of Darwin's theory has devoured everyone. Therefore it is difficult to make them understand that consciousness is more valuable than stone. It is easy for consciousness to produce stone. It is difficult for stone to produce consciousness. Consciousness is more valuable, stone is less valuable. So a more valuable thing can produce a less valuable thing. But it is difficult to explain how a less valuable thing can produce something more valuable. That's because if you want to advance in higher knowledge, we have to understand from the bodily conception, identifying body, you will not understand the subtle plane. But if you understand, you come to the level of the subtle plane, then you can understand that who created, or who is guiding us to in these situations where we are all in now. It is done by the subtle, by the mind, by the intellect. We create our world, our universe, so to say. It is coming from the subtle, from the desire. And ego is the first. point. Egos come from the original ego. If you use your ego for what it is meant for, to please the main ego, but we misuse this. We want to use it for our enjoyment. We want to become God. And this is the change where the ego, pure ego, changes into false ego. What is the Sanskrit false ego? Huh? So what? Ahankara, right, yes. It's ahankara. I identify I am a separated person from the original. And this is the beginning of our material plane, material life. And it goes on, we become Brahma in the first state, and then by false ego whatever the mind is entering creating, we once identify with this creation, and we are covered by the intellect and the mind. The pure ego is covered, gets covered. And then it goes on. I get ideas, I want to enjoy, I want this, I want. And then it's gross matter. We enter into the gross world. Bhumi, Apo, Naro, Vayu. It's earth, water, fire, air, ether. And then we identify ourselves not anymore as the mind who is above matter, who can control mind, control matter, who can control so many things. Mystics know this. In this way we are falling down. Darwin's philosophy has no logic like this. He thinks that some bugs come out of a pile of rice. But rice already is a living plant, it's living. So it is like Kali Yuga now. That we are we are ignorance. We do not understand these things. Oh, no. We close here. Somebody wants to add something? Or comments? Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was walking with his disciples, and he challenged the whole scientists, the whole world he challenged. Let them come, let them argue, I will defeat them all. He was not afraid. Nobody could give some opposition or some logical reasons why you cannot defeat this, Shastra, they realized, or the higher plane. Let them come, I will defeat them all. Even you may not be intelligent, you may not have studied anything. If you just understand spiritual, what is spiritual knowledge, then you understand everything much better than any so-called scientist in this world. Like Gogishoras Babaji, he was illiterate, but he was the guru of Srila Prabhupada, who was one of the most learned personalities in his time. He knew by heart all the Shastras, even Western. He was not afraid of any thing, but nowadays they don't want to accept or hear something like this. Jai Srila Siddhadev Goswami Maharaj ki, Jai Srila Gurudev ki, Nitai Guru Premanandi, Vanchakalpataru.